Okay. All right, I set us to record. Um, so I'm going to make the storytelling time short this evening, but I just wanted to say that we got back today from Arizona. I want to make sure Dana gets back on here. Can you hear now, Dana? I'm making sure. Whoever else said they couldn't hear. Okay. Hang on a second. Is anybody else having trouble with audio? Hang on one second. Okay. I'm going to try to help her get that figured out. Jetty, can you help her with that maybe? Help her figure out what's going on with the audio. Okay. So here we go. We're going to get started. We went out to Arizona. I'm going to try to word this all very quickly and precisely and just say it like this. Literally a handful of diamonds got to go out. We had the pleasure of going out to corporate. We were gone Monday until today, but yesterday was really the day that we actually spent time at corporate, and sort of a vision casting meeting. It was beautiful because of the fact that they were really asking us for honest feedback, like honest reviews about incentives that have rolled out, programs that they've done over the last year. They were wanting, like, true, tell us what you think, what worked, what didn't work. It's very collaborative, very connected. It's coming back today, even going to bed last night, was the most, like, and excitement's a cheap word to use it, so I'm not going to say excited, because I honestly wasn't even feeling excited in the way that, at least the way I think of the word excited. I was feeling inspired, like a new, fresh kind of inspired about the way the meeting was handled, about the actual true feedback that they really did want, and they actually seemed to take notes on. Like, I feel very certain that what's going to roll out over the next 12 months, some of it, I'm being very careful and sensitive to the fact that others who were there, they shared with us very confidential information without making a big deal out of it. We knew that it was confidential information. And it's the kind of information that's helpful for a leader to be able to plan appropriately, if that makes sense, which is always nice. That would be nice to have that kind of information all the time. But then there was more information, too, that was very insider information. And I'm not trying to say this kind of stuff to make you be like, I wish I knew, because I know I would be feeling that way. But really, it put us in a position to where we're going to be able to know what's coming. Like, used to, I might know what's coming over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Now I have a lot better idea. It's still a general idea, but I have a lot better idea about what's going to roll out over the next 12 months, which makes me, as in the position that I'm in, where I run groups and all of this, it puts me in a position to better be able to forecast. We do this, and then we have to do this next, and this is going to lead up to this, and all this kind of stuff. And it just felt good. When I went to bed last night, I was like, man, I feel I feel not just in the loop. It's not about feeling in the loop. I feel like clear-headed about our future, and inspired about the future, and inspired about some of the direction that we're about to take. That's like, some of it was complete surprise to me. It'll be surprise to you as things roll out too. I'm being careful because they actually took notes from our meeting, and they're putting together a call just for the diamonds to let the whole diamond field in on what we basically covered. And at that point, then I'll feel more comfortable about what I can share with you guys publicly and what I can't. Right now, I'm just being very careful of the fact that there were other diamonds out there who may or may not be sharing stuff with their teams. I'm not sure what's okay to share. I know just by instinct that some of it's not okay, even though they didn't make a big deal out of it. I know it's not, at least not now. But what this did was set us up in a position to where I know what to do right now. Like, I know what we need to be doing right now. And they've already set us up for this. At Leaders Retreat, those of you who got to go to Leaders Retreat already heard all about the 3-day sampling packs. Jetty, I meant to bring that in here. Would you mind going and grabbing that for me? I got distracted at the last second and didn't bring it in here. I'm going to show you what one looks like in case you haven't seen one. And I'm going to tell you what my plan is. And tonight, I'm not just going to tell you my plan. We're literally, anybody who wants to participate, we're literally going to make the plan start tonight. I'm going to say, here, go post this on your wall tonight. After we do that, we're going to go comment on each other's posts. There's only a handful of us on here. Okay. We're going to make it happen. We're going to fake the algorithm. Thanks, baby. Okay. Got it. Stop dieting, start living, it says. Okay. This is what it looks like. All right. I don't know if you guys have seen it. If you have, just bear with me. What's that say? Great things come in small packages. Okay. So they gave us one of these at corporate. This is an actual what someone would get if they ordered off of your website. The way I put instructions on my wall about how to go get this. And in a little while, we're going to literally take a little minute, like a few minute break. We're going to do some things. I'm going to literally lay it out for you the way you need to do it. Like, first, you want to go comment on a few people's things, take a few minutes, 2 or 3 minutes to do that. Get Facebook awake for you, because that's how Facebook wakes up. And then you're going to go make a post, okay, if you want to participate in this. And then we're going to go comment on each other's posts. By the way, okay, I'm just going to go. Okay, I'm going to jump right in. So this is, first of all, you open it up. It says every step's a victory. You can do it, okay? And then it has a coupon in it to save $20 on a qualifying weight loss challenge combo or welcome pack before January 31st of 2020. So basically, this is setting people up to try. This is going to cost them $20 to get this. $20 plus the tax. I think the shipping's free. Tell me if I'm wrong. Okay. All right. I do feel a little bit out of the loop. So if I'm open to correction tonight. So if there's something that I've missed over the last 3 days that I've been gone. Okay. So then it comes and it looks like this. Y'all, this is pretty snazzy. Okay. It comes like this. Each one of these envelopes, like this, opens up to a fold out. Right? Okay. It has a slim, an active, lean, MetaBurn. So they're going to get three day. This is a day. This is 1 day worth. And basically it says day 1, day 2, day 3. Now, they actually have, good morning, let's kickstart your day. Take 1 capsule of Plexus Metaburn to give you an energy boost before completing 30 minutes of an activity. Okay, we're giving people, basically, this is what you do. Now, if you are a person who has the kind of personality like me before Plexus, or if you're going to be dealing with people who have that personality, and I think that is pretty common, what's 3 days going to do for me? Okay, what's 3 days going to do for me? The answer is always the same. You don't say, well, probably not much, even though that's probably the truth. You say, well, all we really expect you to learn in 3 days is if you like the taste of the things that you're trying, and if it's something that's simple to implement into your lifestyle, because that's probably the biggest chicken dinner that we have going on for us is above all other programs that I've ever tried in my whole entire life, Plexus is the most simple to implement into your lifestyle because there's not a lot to it, okay? So that's what people will be getting when they spend their $20. Now, hang on. My husband's messaging me because I asked him to find something, but I want to make sure if that's what he's telling me or something. Yeah. Airplane or something. Okay, that's good to know. So, Jetty just pointed out the fact that you can actually feel active in Metaburn. Some people actually feel the other stuff right off the bat too, you know, like especially like with the lean, experiencing cutting back on cravings, having more of that a different kind of feel because it's protein instead of carbs in the morning. So I love these 3-day packs. I will tell you for sure that when I started out, if they'd have had these, this is all I would have done. I would have started off with $100 bill, the first $100 bill I could get my hands on. I would have ordered 5 of these or whatever $100 would have gotten me at the time, whatever it would have been. And then I would have literally sold these to people in my hometown for $20, even if I was having to pay the tax on it or whatever to get this in people's hands. And then those people would be I would be following up and following up and following up. Now, the urgency factor, because normally a different time of the year, I might do this a little different, but we're in November. In fact, we're in the thick of November. And so rather than choose a 3-day trial on these 3 days, because we're getting too close to Thanksgiving, in my opinion, we're getting too close in general to have people get the product ordered, get it in, and be ready for a 3-day if it fell specifically on these 3 days. So what I did was stole the graphic from someone else. I can't even think who. Basically, we're going to do from the 18th through the 30th, choose your 3 days. And in the Beauty Inside and Out group, we're just going to be doing, and we're going to be sharing testimonies. I'm just going to keep that group lit up. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep it. And so I've basically posted in that group and said, who wants to do this? And I told them that to basically get in touch with whoever. You're going to want to definitely put in your notes right now. You're going to want to go in and tag people in that post that are already in that group and see if they want to participate. Or you could actually send them a message. Hey, I wanted to make sure you saw this message that was in the group. This is coming up. It's going to be super relaxed because especially that we're not doing it any specific 3 days. That way everybody can be like, you know, it probably fit in the best for me to do it the 3 days after Thanksgiving, or it might fit in best for me the first days out of school or whatever. Everybody's schedules are so different. So as long as I'm going to keep that, now here's the other thing. I'm saying I'm going to keep that page lit up. My next thing is to specifically ask for those of you who feel that you have either yourself or someone on your team who have relevant testimonies that they'd be willing to share. Either if it's someone that that likes to go live and you think they're good at going live, I'm open to that, and I'm open to suggestions. If it's someone who would prefer to type their testimony out and schedule it in the group, because they could type it out tonight and wouldn't even have to post until after the group starts. You understand what I'm saying? I can teach you how to schedule a post if you've never done that. But I want there to be a steady stream of activity going on in there that is relevant information to, specifically, since this is Stop Dieting and Start Living. I love the fact that we can basically get people started on a healthier regimen, a simple answer to switch their lifestyle over, even at the holidays. I can tell you right now, you'd be hard pressed to get me to start a diet right now, and that's just my personality. But if somebody came to me and said, hey girl, though, try this, you might find yourself backing off the sugar. Try this. You understand what I'm saying? This is what happened with me when I started doing this or this or this. The fact that they're going to pay $20 for this, and they're going to get a $20 coupon in it to apply toward making an order in the future, is kind of like getting it for free, right? Okay. So for all of you who have struggled with scarcity mindset, that nobody got no $20 bill, I don't know anybody who has $20. Okay, well, we've answered that for you. They're basically going to get it for free if they end up using the coupon. So what we're going to do right this minute, I'm going to literally set a timer. And for about 3 minutes, usually you would want to do this for 10 minutes, but since we're on Zoom time, for about 3 minutes, those of you who can, I want you to think of the people on Facebook that are the first prospects that come to your mind. And I want you to go and comment on their most recent picture, something. We're going to get the wheels of Facebook rolling. Okay, go. Ready, go. That's the first thing. Okay. I've already done one, but don't feel pressure. I've already done one. Jetty, are you doing this? If you're seeing people that you haven't thought of and you are commenting on their stuff, since we're on a time clock, I want you to screen capture their face if they're not already on your list. Screen capture their face and move on, because in a little while I'm going to have you add them to your prospecting list. Like if you go to Facebook and you see somebody and think, oh, they're not even on my list, but I'm going to comment. I want you to add them to your list, but I don't want you to stop doing what you're doing.
Okay, I'm so sorry. My mom called in the middle of this, and
Okay.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing.
You're just commenting on. I want you to pick out 3 or 4 people who have been on your prospect list, and just go comment on one of their most recent posts or their most recent picture. That's what we're doing right now.
Okay.
Okay. By the way, I'm just throwing this all out here. You guys keep working. But I keep notes in my phone. It's a rolling list, always funneling. I'm always adding to it. Just rolling, rolling, rolling. It's always adding to the funnel. When I run into someone that I think about, I add them to that list. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Okay. Now what I call that, I'm just giving you guys some imagery here. What I call that is waking Facebook up. Imagine Facebook goes to sleep every time you close it out. And then when you open it back up, to trick the algorithms and to get things moving, and to get the algorithms to be in your favor, I wake Facebook up before I post something. Now, I already did post something just so you guys would have an example. What I'd like for you to do is go grab the wording from mine, and you have to change a few things out. You have to put your own link in it. And then if there's anything about it that you think you should word differently, then basically go post something similar to what I posted on my wall and post it on your wall. Here's the thing. If you want me to come and comment on yours, comment on mine, and vice versa. This is more of waking Facebook up. Like, as people are posting on mine, as people are going to comment on mine, it will wake the algorithm up and make Facebook think whatever. Especially since I posted a link in it, it's less likely to naturally walk through the algorithm itself. So we're forcing it tonight. Now, as I see people commenting, we're taking this step by step. I hope that you guys are okay with this. I hope it's doing what I hope it sticks in your brain. This is the way I work my business, and I want you guys to kind of feed off of that. So you can put the link in the comments if you'd like to. Yes, that might help. I went ahead and spelled it out so that you guys could see the flow, but you can do it however you want. Sometimes putting, I'm just going to explain. I'm talking on top of what you guys are doing, but sometimes putting a link in the comments is better for the algorithm, because it doesn't, basically Facebook doesn't want to show people a way to click out of Facebook. They're not going to show that to all your friends, because they want to keep everybody who's in Facebook on Facebook. So if you've got a link to a YouTube video, or you have a link to an external link is what they call it, Facebook just doesn't naturally show it to as many people. But what we're doing tonight is, if you want to put the link in the comments, that's probably the best idea. If you want to just do it the way I did, that's totally fine too. But as I see people commenting on mine, I'm going to go. Yeah, and I would expect better results if you use a picture. It can be a picture of you. It can be a picture of these 3-day samples. It can be something that just says something like, my, oh my. It could be anything, literally, okay? It doesn't have to be anything special, but pictures seem to grab attention better, okay? Now, okay, I'm going to go comment on each of you. After you've done it on your page, I'll go comment on yours. And then I'm going to take a picture of everybody who's on here. Now, some of you may have already been doing something with all this, and you may already have your daily posts all scheduled out. And I know some of you may be like, this is going to mess up my stuff. And that's okay. Don't worry about that. If you're one that already is like, I already have this algorithm thing going, I've got I got it all going on, that's totally fine. But I'm going to take a picture of everybody who's on here so that I don't forget, and I can go back. I can share this in our team page, share the picture. Oh, there's 2 pages worth of people. Hang on. And that way we can all go back through and comment on each other's. This is teamwork 101. Okay. Now, if you have, okay, a picture of the set. I think I saw, are you talking about a picture of the pack itself? Okay. Does anybody have one of those handy?
Or what's in it, or whatever. It doesn't have to
something
be
like that. Okay.
anything.
if anybody has one of those that you're going to post, will you say so in the comments? That way anybody else can go grab it off of your wall or whatever.
You know, the Plexus Worldwide, I saw it earlier today, they were actually posting graphics for us to borrow. And I think there's some that like I think Graciela used some in her story, but they're different graphics. Yeah.
Okay. Is it okay? So Graciela's story might have some. Are you saying on the ambassador community page or in the email? I'm sorry, Linda. Can you tell me?
The ambassador community page, I saw it earlier today. It's like these that they were putting these out today. Grab them while they're available.
Okay, awesome. Are you asking about that, Becky? If that's what she's talking about? Oh.
I'm just wondering if this one would be a good one to use. It says introducing.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Yeah. Now, okay. Erin, where are you going to post yours exactly? So if somebody's looking for them, I think Dana's saying she's posted hers probably on her wall. Okay, everybody, I'm going to let you guys finish up what we're doing here. I'll be right back. I just got to get a refill on water, okay? Okay, I'm back. Okay. That'd be awesome. Thank you, Erin. So if you're looking for a graphic still, it looks like Erin might be able to post some of the graphics that she has, which is going to lead me to something else that Erin may have to do for me too. We'll see how this works out. Today I'm in beg, steal, and borrow mode because I'm like, I was so tired after yesterday because I used all of my adrenaline for the day in that meeting. And then I went to bed and had such peace. I'm telling you what, you cannot explain the peace. And I woke up this morning feeling so inspired, but then we had to fly to get home. And so it's almost, okay, I got to tell y'all something that just happened. I went and commented on one of my people's, I didn't say anything about Plexus. Haven't talked to this girl in weeks. I commented on her picture of her dog and she just texted me. Okay. I did this while we were on the call. She goes, "Hey, I just got back on Plexus today and I'm so confused about which pack I should order. What do you think made her message me?" She saw my name. She saw my post, something. By me saying something to her, boogity boogity. Okay, this is awesome. Okay. Now, we can do the comment, if you guys will agree to it, we can do the commenting on each other's later, okay? I want that to happen. And actually, if you want to go commenting on 2 or 3 right away, it would probably be good for yours and theirs. That way it doesn't sit there for 30 minutes with no one saying anything on it. So go do 2 or 3 people really quick. I promise there's more to this call than just this. But to me, sometimes people are like, I don't even know. I can't get the flow started. And that's what we're doing. We're starting it. Okay. 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 Don't be bashful after it's over with. If yours is sitting there and nobody's commented on it. When we're finished with this call, we'll come back around and we'll do this all over again. Okay. We'll make sure everybody's is getting commented on. Now we're going to set up. Okay. This is tonight's what we're doing. Now we're going to set you up for tomorrow. And this is where I might need some help.
Hey, Lori.
Yes.
So I just posted like a generic picture, and then in the comments, the first one, just so everybody understands this, and y'all might not use this tool, and that's fine, but those of you that do, one of the Jules had posted this somewhere or something, an actual like really great, sorry, I'm really tired, my words are escaping me, for stories. So like a template, it's just 3 simple things, and then just talking about doing a 3-day trial, and even like being that you said that we're doing it from the 18th until whatever date or whatever,
Yeah.
you guys can even like add that on there saying running continuously, you choose the dates, what works best for your schedule, you know, like I think that would be really great, and I like the flexibility of it. And then people are gonna, and I think doing more in your stories is so helpful, because and having stuff written down, like just short bursts of things, like people are just gonna mindlessly be clicking through stories, especially I feel like now that they're gonna start getting to where they're like numb at work and like, oh, I want the holidays to get here, I'm kind of bored, blah blah blah. Like it's a really good time to be capitalizing on your stories.
So you basically covered what I was about to say. So
Oh, sorry.
no, I was going to ask your help. You were the one I was going to ask for help on. I was going to say, I think Erin already has maybe what she's calling story templates, or what she's calling that. I just want to clarify for anybody who's on here. When you post something on your story on Facebook, or when you've seen this, like the first few times I saw this, I was like, I don't know what they did, where it's like a continuous flow from it. You know, some people, their story is just one thing. Some people, their story is 85 things. Some people, though, that have common sense, their story's like three or four things. Especially if you're leading towards something, you're like, okay, so it's like this, and then lots of times that same graphic will just have a few more things on it. It'll start off by saying ABC, and then it'll be the same graphic, and they'll add 3 more things until the graphic is filled up, so that you're going through in a flow and understanding what they're trying to tell you. I have learned from experience, and because of having gone through multiple social media type classes, that the majority, I want to say it's over 70%. I may have the number wrong. Actually, I've heard it different at different places, but the majority of content on any social media platform is consumed by people with their audio off. So videos, all of this. Basically, if people are watching it and they can't read, because a lot of time you get in bed and, you know, like your spouse is asleep or whatever, or you're on a commute, or you're in the car, or like today I was on the airplane and they made it very plain. They didn't want you listening to something and making everyone around you listen to it. So I was consuming information that might have been someone talking, but I could read what it was saying. Your stories
Subtitles.
do what?
Subtitles.
Yes. So your stories need to be able, they need for you to be able to read them, even if you're talking, even if you're using a video. And in these instances, Erin has shared, did you share it all in the team page, the story templates? Okay.
Yeah, well, I only shared like one of them. Like I don't have the other ones done yet. Like I told you that you know, I needed to like go into Canva and make it simple.
I would suggest that those of you who follow other Plexus people, if you're looking for good story content, follow the ones who have posted stories today. Maybe there's there's 2 testimonies that are flying around. One of the testimonies is from our team.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys saw it. I literally, Diamond Page is gliding up about that one. They're asking, who's this? Is this really Plexus? And all kinds of excitement. That was taking place yesterday while I was at corporate. And I'm getting tagged and not knowing why, because people are saying, I think the first person that ever shared it was Lori Harrison. And it was. And I'll show you where you can find that testimony, because it would be, I think if you were just wanting to be creative with it, you think you could take, now in our team page, Becky, and I don't know for sure if you say her last name, Lanier, Lanier, not the team page, I'm sorry, the Beauty Inside and Out group.
No, she put it in the butterfly page too.
Okay. Unless she didn't, I don't know if she edited it in the butterfly page or not, but in the Beauty Inside and Out group, it has her regimen. It tells exactly when she started what and what product she's taken, and answers all the questions. And so if you would like to take her testimony and share it within your stories and then walk out her testimony, you can basically break her testimony into a few graphics as a story. You could put the information on top of the graphics. You understand what I'm saying? And then at the end, you could basically offer up if people would like to see more about what we do, and basically lead the horse to water. We're leading the horses to water. The water is the 3-day packs. Okay. I almost didn't sponsor a group doing a 3-day trial this month because of the weird too close to Thanksgiving, not knowing if everybody can get theirs shipped to them and all that stuff. And because also, this is the main reason I'm even sharing this with you, I almost didn't do it simply based on the fact that I don't want you to feel that you have to depend on a 3-day group to share these samples. I plan on doing 3-day groups all the time now that we have these, but I don't want anybody to feel that you can't be using these if you don't have an upcoming event. Is everybody 10-4 with me on that? Like, to me, if I had not even had Facebook when I started this business and I had these, I could sell Plexus, because if I could get these in people's hands for $20, that's the way I would have run my business in the beginning. Okay. By the way, I didn't go out to corporate and they didn't try to brainwash us on these. I didn't know anything about them. Except for like tiny little blitzes of information from those of you who had gone to Leaders Retreat, because that's where they actually, talked about them and what am I trying to say? Launched them, revealed them, whatever. At corporate, some other leaders were talking about them and we were all like, okay, this is interesting. And then once I saw one, it was like, oh my gosh, this is like answered prayer. So it's not like I went out there and they said, okay, guys, we need you to get real excited about these 3-day packs. That's not what happened. I'm real excited about them. And it's like, it's authentic and real. It has nothing to do with anything anybody told me that we should or shouldn't do. I came up with everything we're doing tonight based on my own excitement. Nobody else's ideas. So I'm not saying I didn't have help with the ideas. I'm just saying nothing was told to us at corporate about what I'm telling you that we need to do. I believe we need to be doing this based on what the future holds. We need to be in momentum, and momentum is here for us now. We need to grab onto it. Okay. So tomorrow, your homework is you only have to do one thing, and that's to either find a story that you want to copy and put it out there. If you need help with it, message someone who you know can help you with doing a story. Another post that I saw that was getting a lot of attention said, all you need to do is PayPal me $20 and send me your address, because this is somebody who had ordered several, to get your 3-day challenge packed. And then she's like, already had several friends join me so far. And people were commenting and say, yeah, I'm in. I want to. Now, this is a person who had posted like what we're doing already right now. She'd already posted the information about it. She had already shared stuff in stories. And then as a follow-up, like in the scheme of things, the way we're doing it, that would need to be like tomorrow evening that you post something like that. Is everybody following me on everything I've stepped in so far? No? Okay. Tell me what you're having trouble with, and if it's something I feel like we need to answer on the call, I will. If it's not, then I'll get with you after the call. The stories? Okay. Have you ever done a story before? If you haven't, it's okay.
I understand about the stories. I've been sidetracked on this, and I don't remember where you said to get all of this different storyline samples and whatever. I'm sorry.
Okay, sure. So I was trying to kind of leave it up to everybody's creative, what you want to do. And really, the story portion needs to happen tomorrow, in my opinion, like early in the morning. And where you're going to want to grab it from is going to really depend on what you want to do. You can go to the Beauty Inside and Out group and grab the lady's testimony if you know how to break one apart like that. Like if you know how to post one picture and put some copy on top of it. If you don't know how to do that, Erin has already shared one example in the butterfly group of a story, and there will be others on, like, you could probably go to Tim and Michelle Thomas right now and look at their stories, and you could probably see, I'm just guessing, you could probably look at Ryan Evans. You could probably look at people and go, okay, that's what I see what they did there.
Jennifer Leith has some up there, and she's actually one of the ones that said about doing the PayPaling me $20, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Becky, some really good advice, if you don't mind me saying this.
Go ahead.
Is that Bob Heilig always, when we had our masterclass in his leadership thing, Becky, I know that you have been in there. I don't know if you're still there or not, but this was a little bit ago where he talked about your story is literally like your like pinhole. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. Like your little pinhole, like peephole. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay.
Peephole, like into your day about like what you're doing, what you're excited about, all those things. So I tomorrow personally am gonna like have pictures, like whether it's a selfie or I have my nephew do it or my sister do it. Like just take some pictures of me holding like the actual products of the 4, and then it like shows, because like MetaBurn totally helps you drive 1,400 miles in 2 days, you know, active and slim, helps you not eat Burger King the whole entire time. Like I can make a story up of like my, what's real life in my life right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like whatever products you use when you have a long day, like doing your job, whatever. I think it's really cool when people see you walking out using the products, if that makes sense.
Yes. To me, it would be way better if you have any freedom tomorrow to be able to do what she's talking about. Literally posting a picture of your own pink drink, you drinking your pink drink, or posting pictures of, like she said, the bottles, anything that's like specific to you. And especially like she's talking about, she has a whole scenario that will play out tomorrow that people can follow along and see what it's going to be real easy to basically pick up what she's laying down tomorrow, because she's going to be like, I'm traveling. First of all, you're insinuating it's easy to fit this into your regimen. I'm traveling. It's helping me with cravings. I'm being able to sustain myself with nutrition. I'm not having to, I'm not going to have to stop and get energy drinks. I'm not going to have to do all of the benefits that we know. She's going to be able to lay them out in the form of a story tomorrow. If you haven't done it, if you've never done a story, I suggest you watch Erin's stories tomorrow and do something like it yourself. Like, don't use hers because it won't make sense to use hers, but adopt the idea. There will be people all over Facebook tomorrow talking about these sample packs, because all over the company right now, people are getting ready to do these 3-day trials. And so you don't want to use one that has a date on it that's wrong. You don't want to use a graphic that's wrong, different than ours, that kind of thing. So, okay, Rachel just shared I think it's probably a step-by-step how to do stories. Oh, Instagram stories. Okay, awesome. So yeah, you could be doing this on Instagram. You can be doing this on Facebook. That's amazing. Thank you. Thank you.
Becky, your question where you said, can you do more than one story on Plexus? Like, what I try to do is, like, I have a theme for the day, and like I might have like 2 or 3 themes for the day. It kind of just depends on, what I'm doing throughout my day or whatever. But when I'm planning my content, yes, you can have a series of stories, like individual stories on just Plexus. So, and then you can have some on, like, what you're evening, what you're cooking, or something like that. But I try not to do more than like 7 or 8. This is just me personally. There's lots of opinions and lots of different ways to do it. And some people don't even use stories, and that's okay. Like, you don't have to. I just know I've actually gotten a lot of leads that way, and 3 different ambassadors because of people watching my stories within the last like 4 months.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's not high numbers. A lot of people get more than that, but
well, I think if it's something you get in the habit of doing, it's way easier to just think to do that. The thing you need to know, one distinct difference you need to know about posting on your wall and posting in stories is it's a 24-hour turnaround on stories. Stories go away after 24 hours. So I think it's smart on a campaign, we're going to call this a campaign. I think it's smart to have both things going on, because that way, if a person wants to come back and go, oh yeah, she said something about cravings, and that is driving me nuts. I remember who it was. They can go back to your wall, and even if the story's gone, they can still find pertinent information on your wall somewhere as to what you were talking about. So, and I know what I'm saying. In case that sounds like I'm contradicting Erin, it's not. We're totally in agreement about this. I knew you wouldn't think I was, but in case anybody felt like that, not understanding what I'm saying, we're in agreement about you should really, to get your optimal results, you need to have it going on in both places. And I really do like, to an extent, now this is personal preference here, I really do like seeing a personal glimpse into people's lives in their stories. I like to see that, especially if it's someone that I root for and cheer for, whatever. I like them. So having those glimpses of what you have going on during the day, thought processes, fun things, even little surveys and polls, the more you play with stories. And here's the thing, play with it. Don't get caught up in it. I've never done it before. I'm not sure how. What if I do it wrong, and let that stump you into not trying it? Get on there. I've done it. I'm by far not even close to an expert on it, but I have seen the benefit of it with me not even being that great at it yet. So I'm working on it. Now, let me see what else we're supposed to do. Okay. There's something I really wanted to read to you guys. Now, for those of you who that are not always on here, we have kind of a mishmash, hodgepodge. It's these team Zooms are for my team, but what has happened is over the years when people take my breakthrough training, they have access to my Wednesday night Zooms too. So I never know. Some of them might hop on here and some of them might not. So when you see people on here, you're like, I don't know who that is. Usually when you'll hear me say, if you fall within my umbrella, I'll put this information on that other group or whatever. That's what that's talking about. The reason I'm talking about that now is because I wanted to read something. Crystal Moss shared something with me this morning. I thought it was, but my days are all running together now. And I asked her if I could share it tonight because she said it was a prophetic word. And I feel like it really applies to us in this season, specifically since she didn't really know what I was out at corporate doing. I don't think she knew anything about that anyway. And what's really weird is I said a silent prayer. Now I'm confessing this to Crystal Moss. I said a silent prayer in my head the night before we flew out there that was very specific, and I did not say it out loud on purpose. I don't know why but it was definitely intentional. And it was, of all things, because we were about to go out there, and because I felt that this was pivotal, and I believe with all my heart that us going out there and everything that's happened was pivotal for this team specifically. I mean, I feel like it's very relevant and important. But I asked that Crystal Moss would get a prophetic word. And she did. She doesn't even know that if she's on here right now, she knows it now. I was very detailed about what kind of prophetic word I was looking for. It was kind of like putting out a fleece. You know what I'm talking about? Is that how, am I saying that right? Am I using that phrase right? So when I opened this morning, I was like, okay, wow. She said, I just wrote this to my pastor, and I believe it is for our wonderful team as well. Please join in agreement with me. Breaking generational curses off our body. Any words that have been spoken about our church. So in this instance, we're going to say our company, our businesses, or your church. It could mean apply this to all areas that you'd like to apply this. So any words that have been spoken about our church, company, businesses, whatever, and or its people fall to the feet of Jesus and can no longer have a stronghold on anyone. So she's meaning any ill words spoken, any word curses spoken, they would fall and no longer have a stronghold on anyone. All spirits of infirmity, inadequacy, and addiction of any sort lose all power as Jesus takes it in his hand this morning and crushes it into particles with not even an ability of hindrance upon his people or his church. As for the spirit of debt, I see Jesus calling in the bills with open arms and stamping them paid in blood red, while taking bank statements and touching the income and multiply it by 77. Okay. We, as a church body, are not beggars, but children of the one true King. It is time to step boldly out in freedom, showing our crowns of faith and sonship, proclaiming his gospel in the most loving way of the Father. We are overcomers, victorious, and royalty. It's time to show the world. I can't even go into right now how prophetic that actually was in regards to even things that happened this week. There was actually a lot more to it. Even before we went out there, there were prophetic words given about before we would go out there. And one of the prophetic words lined up almost exactly with the word that Lana Vowser released yesterday morning. And also, we went out there on 11/11. For those of you who are in my weird crew, you're going to love this. We go out there at 11:11. We get to the hotel, and our room number is 111. And I was like, to Jetty, I was like, did you request? He's like, what? I didn't know why I'm at, what? No. Okay. So I was telling that to Heather Burke yesterday morning before we went to corporate. I was like, isn't this weird? Because 11:11, this is what 11:11 means. And I read it to her. And she goes, oh, that's so cool. I wonder if 11:12 means anything. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen that number specifically, but maybe, so I go to the same website that I always go. Oh, are you serious? 11:11. I'm going to read to you what 11:12 means. And then I'm going to tell you that I'm just going to briefly touch on before we went out there. A lady who, I believe she's a Sapphire, she heard that we were going out there, and she told her upline, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so weird. I had a vision the other day and didn't know what it means, but now I do. And she asked who I was going. She ended up talking to me about it. And she was like, as soon as I found out you guys were going out there, she's like, I had to tell you. And she had this vision, and it had to do with wind and change, the winds of change. And she was like, you guys were all standing in a circle, which, by the way, when we got there, there were a handful of us, and we were in this, they had put the tables out where we were all facing each other, as much as tables can be in a circle. They weren't in a circle. Okay. She talked about that after we left, it was like a breeze came through. It was a wind of change. And anyway, she had told me that a few days before we went out there. We're sitting there at breakfast yesterday morning. Heather Burke and I are sitting there eating, and we're talking about 11:11, 1:11, 11:12, which is, I'm gonna read that to you really quick, the 11:12, because it was here. Transition, that was yesterday's date. That's why I'm reading this. Transition into apostolic order and government, a new breed, changing of the guard, promotion, a shifting into a new alignment, stepping into new anointing for the new season. Deuteronomy 11:12 says, it is the land the Lord your God cares for. The eyes of the Lord your God are continually on it from the beginning of the year to its end. God's faithfulness and careful attention to watch over you from the beginning to the end of the season that you are in. Nothing escapes his care. So that's what 11:12. That's the meaning on that same website that I always use of 11:12. And then we get out there, or actually, no, that morning while we're sitting there talking about it, she said, oh, I'm glad you found something. Last night before I went to bed, I looked to see if Lana Valzer had posted anything new. And she hadn't. And she said, but I did see the one. She said, I did see the one of that she had pinned from a few days ago. That one was really good. So I went to go read the pinned one. Now keep in mind what I just told you, that a fellow Jewel had told us about wind. I'm not going to read this whole thing. I'm just going to read the first few sentences to you. I go to look at the pinned post on Lana Valzer's page, and it just said, here comes your second wind. And she said, she talks about what second wind, she pulls the definitions up, and she said, I knew when I heard the Lord speak that he was speaking over those who are weary, those who felt like they have run out of breath, tired in the fighting and the contending. And then she started talking about the wind of the Spirit's going to begin to blow over you, and your second wind is coming. The Spirit of God is going to bring forth such refreshment and rejuvenation, strength, so on and so forth. You will remember the weariness no more. I'm skipping down through. Many are going to experience this second wind that will come by the power of my Spirit before 2019 ends. Their vision will be renewed. Their strength will be renewed. The whole thing that was spoken over the vision that this lady had before she knew anybody was going out there had to do with wind. And wind, as she said, literally it was whipping our hair all around. It was whipping our hair, the wind that had come in. She's like, I have really high expectations for whatever's going to shift after you guys leave. I'm like, okay, well, I'm excited. That was like, I know that was a really lame explanation for something that I can't really put words on. There's two reasons. One thing is I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about that we learned. And the other reason is I don't really know how to put into words something that happened that was very spiritual, like other than to just tell you facts. So those are the facts. Those are the facts of the case. Okay. Ooh. Crystal, remind me to answer that question that you asked me. Okay. Now, I'm going to pause again. Does anybody have any questions about what about stories tomorrow? I really would like for you guys to do your darndest to get some of these into some people's hands, because being able to sample is it's a passive way to get people started, because once people get started, they like it. If you use the Dough app, you really need to be putting these people in your Dough app so that it's going to be telling you you can say you want to follow up in 2 days, or you want to make sure that they got their order, whatever it is. I know this is a busy time of the year. It's a great time to let the Dough app do that kind of thinking for you. If you would like more information on how other teams are using these 3-day trials, the video that I promoted to you guys yesterday, that was Brooke Hemingway. James Easling is also in the video. It's the one from yesterday that corporate put out. That basically, that is basically something I would suggest you watch if you feel like you're a little bit behind and don't know what to do about the, or you want more information basically about the 3-day trial packs. The 3-day challenge is going to be inside the Beauty Inside and Out group, but it's going to be, I'm going to repeat this in case somebody missed this. I'm going to keep that page we're just going to keep it lit up the 18th through the 30th. And we're literally going to let people choose what days they sample. That way, if people don't get stuff ordered in the next 2 days, they don't feel like they're going to miss out on our start date. Okay. It's the only way I could think to do it. I saw something else posted that looked like that's what they were doing. And I was like, that's brilliant. This time of year, it's just almost impossible to get everybody on the same page. So I'm going to close this by saying, if you have someone on your team, or even if it's you yourself, who has a powerful testimony that you don't mind sharing, or they wouldn't mind sharing, either in the form of a short video, you can actually, in these groups, you can actually record a video ahead of time and schedule it to post, or actually just post it, whatever. And it's not exactly the same as going live. But at least it's a video. So if somebody has a short video testimony they want to do and they're not comfortable going live, we could do it like that. Or if you have a testimony that you can type out, specifically, it would be really helpful if it has to do with any of these 4 products. It can have to do with other products as well, but we really want to make sure that these testimonies do at least hit on the products that are in these trial things. Don't forget about the $20 coupon. Don't forget about stories tomorrow. Let's see. Okay, and I'm trying to keep this video short so that people will watch it, and so they'll be up to date on what we're doing. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop this recording. I'm going to see if anybody has any more questions before I stop the recording, and then we're going to pray, but I'm going to put that on a separate recording. Everybody feel pretty comfortable in what we're doing right now? Okay. I encourage you, if you don't have an accountability partner, or perhaps even an accountability chat with 2 or 3 people, I encourage you to do that based on the fact that, if nothing else, when you post a Plexus post, you can screen capture it, put it in the chat, and that is their cue to go comment on it, and vice versa. You do it for each other. It's the best way to get the algorithms moving, is commentary. So we're going to make sure we do that for each other tonight. Okay. Okay. Yeah, well, okay. If I understand your question, she's asking, is it better to spread the comments out? If there are lots of people commenting, you want some commentary right off the bat if you can get it, because it seems like the longer a post stays there with nobody commenting on it. But then, for the authenticity of it, it's better if comments still trickle in after the fact. You kind of hope that happens. You hope it happens authentically after you've faked it in the beginning. Some of us just have to get back. It's almost like you got to just grease the wheel again and get, sometimes if you've, I'm as guilty about this as anybody. Sometimes it's like I step away from the whole social media thing for a while, not like completely. It's not like I don't have it in my life, but it's like I'm not consistent with it. And then when I get back in there, I go, man, I got to get back in the game again. And so sometimes you just got to get clicking again. And that's what we're going to try to do for each other. I can't express to you without telling you how important timing is right now. I'm not pressuring you to do anything. I'm not pressuring you to make sure you get these 3-day trials or the group or anything like that. But the timing is crucial right now, spiritually, I believe, for your businesses. For those of you who have been waiting for the time, it's here. It's time. You're going to be, I don't know how to say this without like, my people who've been around a long time for a long time will get this, but if you've been waiting for the time, now's the time. Now's the time to jump back in. You're going to see me full force again. You're going to be like, oh, there's that girl, that Fungus Queen girl. There she is again. I remember her. Yeah. So I'm just going to leave it at that for now. Okay. Yes, it is. Okay. That is over with. Now I'm going to close this out. I'm just going to not going to close the meeting. I'm just going to close the recording. Stop the recording. Maybe.